My name is Patrick Squire and I will be presenting this code review presentation on behalf of Undergraduate Group 2. I'll be reviewing all code up until milestone 1, which was the 20th of September, and I'll be basing this review for the code on the requirements specified for this milestone, which were to demonstrate the ability for an administrator to log in and log out, to create a new admin account, and to query and retrieve admin information from the database. I'll be assessing each code on 3 different criteria: the functionality of the code, how well it handles errors, and the formatting of the code. And I'll be providing some examples for each different criteria. To begin with, look at the code functionality for the code. So the milestone 1 goals were met, which indicates that the code is fully functional and working as intended. This code, the example that I'm using for this to demonstrate its code functionality is the index.js, which perform the main routes, such as on this screen you can see the admin login route. So when an administrator logs in, all the functions within this code are executed. And the code is both functional and clear and easy to update, as well as debug and test. So the team has been testing and debugging the code through Insomnia, which can be seen in the second figure on the right. So for this case, testing the admin login route, which is a post request. It's done by using Insomnia and providing the JSON object, in this case the email and password of the administrator, and passing these through a post request through Insomnia to test that the correct response or the intended response is being received. Testing through front end was also just done via looking and examining the code in the web browser. The next section of this code review examines how well errors are handled. So errors are currently being detected and handled by the code. All code is written with error checks before the main function is executed. So again, using this admin.js portion of the code before going down and executing further functions first does a check to see if the current user is an administrator or not. And if the user is not an administrator, then the status 401 or unauthorized status is sent back is sent as the response. So this is an example of to demonstrate that the error handling segment of the code is being handled by the team. Formatting and variable naming. So the next section will examine how neat the code looks and the appropriate use of variable names. Overall, the code is neat and indented. It's clear and well formatted. Indenting and spacing is evident, which makes the code clearer to follow and easy to debug, as mentioned in the previous slide. Appropriate variable names are used, which again makes it just easier to follow and read down through the code. Currently, there are some discrepancy between the naming conventions. So within the admin.js file on the left, you can see that snake case is being used where different words are separated by an underscore, versus camel case on the right where different words are separated, or not as separated, but are signified by the use of capital letters. So currently 2 different conventions are being used, which isn't ideal. The case why this is happening is that the development team has got split into the front and back end. So the front end handles the user interface side, and the back end is handling the database management side of it. So this has made managing the workload easier and easier to assign tasks and focus on specific areas of the project. However, it's clear that there needs to be some more communication between the 2 teams to use the same formatting for codes and naming conventions. So in conclusion, overall the team is very satisfied with the code quality in terms of both functionality and aestheticness and style. Currently the functions are working and the code is looking neat and it's quite clear to be able to debug. It's important that the team continues to maintain these high standards of code. However, it's clear that more communication and integration between the front-end side and the back-end side needs to happen in the future as well as when we start look at merging some of the work between the front end and back end, that the same coding and naming conventions are followed to make the integration easier. So that concludes this presentation on code review. Thank you.